the road again. We can't wait to get on the road again. Telling stories to our family and our friends. We can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again. We can't wait to get on the road again. Telling stories to our friends. We can't wait to get on the road again.
Welcome to our monthly AAA podcast, Affinity, Allie, and Annette on the road to good storytelling with your hosts, Allie Spooner and moi. And I'm just so excited. We are recording live from 3 different countries. I'm in Mexico, Allie's in the US, and Julie, JM Dragon, our boss, is in New Zealand. So pretty exciting to be recording from 3 separate countries. JM Dragon has got a brand new book out that she hasn't had one out for how many years, Julie? 4 years. Oh, we should have been on her way earlier than this to get and yeah, her fans are pretty happy that there's a brand new book out. So we always pick a topic, and this month we'll be talking about royal romances, which I'm really excited about. They're very popular. Everyone loves royal romances, even those those of us who live in the U.S. where we don't really have royalty. We love our princesses, and we like to fawn over them. So we're honored and delighted to have our fearless leader from Affinity, JM Dragon, who wrote a fabulous, I mean, it's so great, royal romance titled The Princess Needs a Wife. And it was released February 1st worldwide, so anybody can get it. I have the absolute pleasure and honor of reintroducing Julie. JM Dragon was originally born in the UK. She is now a New Zealand citizen. She adores her animals, 3 cats, 1 alpaca, and over 100 bantam chickens. She also has a side passion, her business interest in Affinity eBook Press, New Zealand Limited. Though she sneaks time in to write when time allows, she has published over 30 individual novels, 12 co-authored novels, and at least 14 individual short stories included in anthologies.
Without further ado, Julie, take it away.
Okay. I'm JM Dragon. I'm going to read an excerpt from my new book, The Princess Needs a Wife. I'm glad I got that title right, otherwise that would be terrible, wouldn't it? So here we go. Crown Prince Claude Maximilian Osric glared at the 17th century mantel clock on the marble fireplace border. It showed 9:55. Damn you, Sophia. With a click of heels, he strode towards the door and threw it open, almost colliding with his daughter. Reclaiming his equilibrium, he said, "What time do you call this?" Sophia dragged a hand through her mussed-up hair and shrugged. Then she kissed his cheek. "Good morning, Papa." Claude shook his head. "Good morning, Sophia, though I suspect you rarely hear that with your social calendar. Why can't you be more like your brother?" "Whoa, don't go there, Papa. Trust me, 2 siblings with a head up their backside would be too much for you." He raised his eyebrows. Sophia beamed a smile and entered the room. "You wanted to speak with me, Henry informed me yesterday." Claude sighed. Her tone was enough to know his favourite child was irked by him sending the message via Henry. "Yes." He glanced at the clock again. It was 2 minutes to 10. Frank would be waiting in the limousine to take him to the golf club at Intari. "See me to my car. We can talk as we walk." "Of course." "Look, Sophia, you need to be more careful. Commissioner Foley is naturally upset with you flaunting the rooms." "Then don't let him." Claude frowned, turning as they opened the front door. "Why do you say that?" "Maybe, Papa, because—" A large woman interrupted them. She had a ruddy complexion and was dressed in a green overall that had mud patches on the legs. "I'm so sorry to interrupt, Your Highness. There was an appointment scheduled for 8:30. I know I'm way late, but there was a problem with the turkeys." "You are?" Sophia exclaimed. Claude smiled and placed a hand on his daughter's shoulder. "Abigail Ranger. Her family is as much a fixture here as we are." Claude frowned. "I was expecting your mamma." Sorry, Your Highness, she sent me in her place. Is she ill? Abby shook her head. My mother is well, Your Highness. She asked me to attend the meeting. Unfortunately, there was a drama with... Claude nodded. Turkeys. Yes, I understand. I take it you are asking for permission to renew your tenancy. Yes, Your Highness. Claude turned to his daughter. Perhaps you can arrange to have dinner with me this evening. Henry will know my schedule. He motioned for his tenant to move closer. Your tenure is guaranteed. I shall set up the documents immediately. The paperwork will go through your legal representative, I assume. Abigail nodded. Give your mamma my best regards. He smiled as Abigail Ranger. Sorry. Sorry, I know it. This is Sasha. Apologies. Anyway, I'll carry on. He smiled as Abigail Ranger nodded furiously and then sped rather gracefully to her side, for her size, across the gravel drive toward a walled area, entering it through a wooden door. Sophia stamped her foot on the gravel. Oh, of course, you are the sovereign power here. Go, Papa, go. Obviously, she wasn't important. Sorry, she was more important than I am. He wanted to strangle his daughter. One day, maybe you will understand. He passed his daughter, hesitating for a moment. I love you, he whispered, and headed toward the car. Sophia glared at the back of her father. True to form, he had let other factors interfere with family. This time it had been related to state affairs, not golf, though that was a close second. God damn it, I'm just a useless attachment that doesn't even come close to being important. I'm done. She entered the house and ran up the staircase to her room. Sophia looked at her baggage. Too much. She spent 2 hours condensing her possessions to 3 suitcases and a vanity case since speaking with her father. The next big question was how she was going to get out of the castle without suspicion. Grinning, she picked up the internal phone. Princess, how can I help? A sexy, melodic voice spoke. My car is at the mechanic's and I need to go into town. Can you arrange this? Sophia heard a sharp intake of breath from the person who listened. Not that she knew who they were. The staff were just staff. She hadn't any great contact with any of them except for Henry Tovor. When do you intend to leave? Now. Yes, now would be good. Of course, Princess. Someone will be at your stateroom shortly. Excellent. Sophia ended the call. She looked around the room that had been hers since forever. Sadness descended on her heart. Leaving home was the only obvious thing she could do. It was time to make a life she could be happy with. Abby ended the call with the princess. Damn, Frank is with His Highness and Samuel is with Prince Rupert. Who else do I send? Frowning, Abby considered several options, but the reality left her. 2 meetings with the princess in the space of a morning was extraordinary, to say the least. She called Mr. Tovos. It rang for precisely 3 rings. If there was one thing you could guarantee about the Crown Prince's aide, though you could call him the head butler and anything else that meant he ran the castle, was that he was predictable. Mr. Tovos, this is Abby Ranger. Princess Sophia has requested a driver to take her and several items to a charity establishment. Frank and Samuel are engaged in other royal duties. Who shall I send? A heavy sigh at the other end of the line was her first reply. You take the princess. Anything else? Well, yes. Who is going to take the calls to the castle when I'm gone? I was covering for Anna. Her youngest had to leave school early. They can go to the voicemail. He ended the call. Abby glared at the small box on the desk and flicked the switch to automatic. I wish I'd never agreed to help today. Then she chastised herself. Her childhood friend wasn't responsible. She headed towards the princess's quarters in the south wing. On the way, she collected the keys to one of the utility vehicles. At least that was a plus. It wouldn't have to be a farm vehicle. Darn sure the socialite princess wouldn't want the smell of the farmyard all around her. Abby chuckled. Sophia watched as the broad-shouldered woman hoisted with ease 2 of the 3 suitcases she'd packed. It had been an effort to drag each case from her bed. This woman must have the strength of a muscle builder. She stared at the biceps, which bulged as the woman worked. Sophia found it a turn on. Mentally, she shook her head. I can't go there. Want me to help? The grimace given told a story without words. Guess not. Sophia glanced around her royal apartment. Since her decision to leave, she doubted herself. Was it really time to move out? The simple fact was she was nothing but a hanger-on. Her brother would inherit the title and the fortune when her father died. The only thing she could expect was an allowance. Her father was generous, but Rupert, when a wife and family came along, might not be so. Though they loved each other, he would have his own family to take care of. Is this the last one? Sophia dragged herself out of her musings and turned. Yes. Will Frank be driving me? No, I will. Exactly who are you again? You never gave me your name, though I am sure you are vaguely familiar. I helped friends out when they needed it at the castle. I see. Sophia became deflated than she had been. I'm not even worth a member of the Royal Staff assisting me. Damn, this woman looks familiar. Then the light bulb went off. I remember you. Earlier, you interrupted my conversation with my father. That was not intentional. Sophia watched as a red hue inflamed the already ruddy cheeks. Nevertheless, it happened. Didn't you have an appointment? Yes, but... I remember you had some excuse. Are we leaving? I have other work to attend to, the sharp retort surprised Sophia. Yes, of course you do. Something to do with turkeys. She motioned towards the door. The woman glared at her and left. Holding the door back, Sophia sucked in a shallow breath as tears welled. I wish I could say I'd be back. My senses tell me I never will, in quite the same way. She headed for the stairs. Abby regarded her mother watching her favourite afternoon TV show as she knitted vigorously. Her phone rang and she answered. Hi, it's Abby. Abby, how are you doing? Abby frowned. Who is this, please? Sorry, it's Jean. Remember me from Jake's Bar? Abby bit her lip. Can't quite recall. Hey, no problem. It was a heavy session. Your friend was celebrating a birthday. Chantel? Yeah, Chantel, you kissed me. You said if I wanted to go on a date to call you. You gave me your number. I absolutely don't remember this at all. I'm not that forward. Though I did drink a lot that evening. Well, more than I normally do. Yeah, right, 3 ciders. What the hell? Mum was only saying I had no life outside the farm. That was 3 months ago. COVID had a comeback. I figured I would wait. Want to go on a date? Abby had no clue who this woman was, but she needed a change, even if it was with a stranger. I'm certain I didn't kiss anyone. I'd remember. Sure, why not? Where shall we meet? I can pick you up. No, I figured I'd do that. 6 p.m. work? Yes, I guess. The call ended as suddenly as it had started. Abby was puzzled over the brief conversation. How does she know where I live? I guess cider is more important than I figured.